Hello, this is Gus from Askewed Reviews, and it's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's a new episode of Cinema Society Saturday. Now, if you don't know what that is, this is a group of horror talk creators that love horror movies. And what we do is each week we get a theme, we pair up, and then we give our partner a movie that fits within that theme for them to review. So this week, our theme was Christmas horror. And the movie that I was given for this week was Gremlins. And my partner for this week was Chris Ladd, which, if you're not already following him, definitely go and do so. Although, looking at it, I think everybody's following him. Good job, man. So, Chris gave me the 1984 film Gremlins. This is a horror comedy that was written by Chris Columbus and directed by Joe Dante. This movie is definitely one of the films I would put in my top 5 Christmas horror movies. It may even be number 1. So here's the concept for this film. A father is coming home from a business trip and wants to get his son a great present, so he decides to get him a pet. But it ends up being an exotic animal called a mogwai. Now, apparently, when owning a mogwai, there are some specific rules. Number 1, you don't get them wet. Number 2, you don't get them out in direct sunlight. And number 3, you do not feed them after midnight. Now, everything at first seems to be going great with Gizmo, which happens to be his name. Unfortunately, though, they end up getting Gizmo wet, and this causes him to spawn a bunch of other Mogwai. And these other ones aren't as nice as him, and they end up breaking the rules and eating some food after midnight. Now, what ends up happening because of that is they go into a metamorphosis and they change into gremlins. And these are the classic storytale gremlins where they love to cause chaos. So, will Billy and Gizmo working together be able to stop these creatures? So, if you've never seen this movie before, you absolutely should. It's such a fun watch. Me, on my scale, I'm going to give Gremlins a 5 out of 5. Now, I own this movie, but if you wanted to watch it yourself, it's currently streaming for free on Max and AMC Plus. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, definitely go and follow Chris Ladd. He has such great content, and also he's a really genuine person with some very emotional stuff that you can connect with. Additionally, you should also go check him out due to the fact that I also gave him a movie, which was the 2016 film The Elf. To which, by the way, I apologize, Chris. It's been brought to my attention, as I haven't seen this movie before, that it might be absolutely terrible. So, sorry about that. So, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Cinema Society Saturday. I hope you have a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday. And of course, if you want to check out what everyone else in the group has done, just look up the hashtag Cinema Society Saturday.